The heat has officially arrived here in Texas, and I haven't mowed in about a week. And when you're maintaining low cut, real mowed Bermuda grass, that can spell trouble. So in today's video, I'm gonna show y'all how to hit the reset button on your Bermuda lawn. What's up guys, I'm Rhett. Welcome back to Lawn Insider. I did edge yesterday to make this look a little bit more presentable, and I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes right now thinking this is not what an overgrown Bermuda lawn looks like, but the principle, whether you have 5-inch grass or half-inch grass, is going to be the same with Bermuda, because the fact of the matter is that only about the top half or third of the Bermuda plant is green, and then underneath that you have a layer of brown. And when you let the grass get away from you and then you cut at your normal height of cut, you're going to cut all that green off, and you're going to cut into that quick or that brown part, and you're going to leave scalp marks in the lawn. And the only way that you're going to get your yard back to being completely green is by hitting that reset button on your lawn and performing a reset scalp. The idea of a scalp in late spring, over the course of the summer, even in early fall, is no different than when you perform that initial scalp coming out of winter. You want to remove all of that top layer of growth, and you want to mow at a height of cut that's lower than what you're planning on maintaining at the rest of the season. So I maintain my grass most of the year at 0.55 inches in height of cut. So I want to make sure that when I come out here and scalp, that I'm scalping probably somewhere around 1/4 of an inch or 0.3 inches. And it might not look like it right now, but my lawn is over an inch tall, so I've got a lot of material to remove. The color and the thickness look really good with this taller grass, but I have actually started to notice a few dry spots popping up in the lawn, which I know is crazy because my last video was about how much rain we were getting. But since that video, we haven't had any rain, and we've had sustained high temperatures. So I have had some trouble spots pop up, and I'll show you a few of those, and I don't know how well you can see them, but there is a little bit of a brownish orangish haze there. And then just in these areas as well. These are also higher traffic areas of when we're getting out of our car. And then over here on the side yard, there's some more noticeable ones. You can really see this area right here, and then this area right here. And especially over here on the side yard, these are the same areas every year. When we start getting less rain and we start getting more heat, these are the areas that always give out first. And I haven't really done much to treat those areas this year, so I'll also probably try to take care of that while I've got the yard cut down. So the plan right now is to go over it at my normal height of cut, just so y'all can see the scalp marks that I was talking about when you let it get a little bit too overgrown. Just finished the cut in the front, and that's all I'm going to put on film for y'all for this part. But I just wanted to show you some of the areas where we got some scalping. And you can see just the yard as a whole is a much lighter green. You're always going to take a little bit of a green hit after you mow, but it's not usually going to be this significant. And the reason for that is because we're closer to that brown, and in some cases we are cutting into that brown. And you can see some more areas where we just have some scalping that has taken place. And again, the prescription for this is just going to be to scalp it even lower than our normal maintenance height of cut. So I'm going to have to come back after a while, after I finish the rest of the lawn, lower my height of cut on the mower, and then mow everything again. Just finished up on the rest of the yard for the regular mow. Now I'm actually going to lower my mower down to 3/10 of an inch, and this part is the actual scalp. And before we get to it, I know a lot of people are probably going to say in the comments that I could have avoided all of this if I would have applied my PGR, plant growth regulator, and they're exactly right. I have not applied a single round of T-Nex this year. If you don't know, T-Nex slows down the vertical growth of your plant to where you don't have to mow as often, and it really comes in handy when you know you're not going to be able to mow as often, whether you're going on vacation or just whatever the reason might be. But I have not put any of that out on the yard, and then the temperatures really were heating up and the yard took off and kind of got away from me. So that is why I'm left with this option, which is kind of the nuclear option, and that is to scalp the lawn. So here we go. It's overcast, so it actually looks even later than it is right now, but it's after 6, and it gets dark around 8, so we're sort of running out of sunlight, especially for the GoPro. It doesn't film super well in lower light conditions. But here is the front part of the yard after the 3/10 scalp, and I got down pretty low, got a lot of material out. There's the pile right there. You can see it's pretty sizable, especially just for this one area. But I did want to show y'all what the canopy looked like. I've shown this in other videos, but just so you can see how thick it is. So we are still not down to dirt, even at 3/10 of an inch. And ideally, I do want to get down to dirt, because right now I have this kind of extra layer of cushion. It's kind of a quilt of stolons, and it's very, very thick, very, very matted down. So I think that what I'm going to end up doing in the next day or two is pull out the verticutter and verticut the lawn as well, and that will thin out the canopy and open it up. And I'm not talking about a dethatcher. I've actually built my own verticutter out of an old dethatcher to get this job done, and it is still pretty hard work. It pulls out a lot of material too, but I think it'll be worth it, and it will give me a leg up going into the rest of the summer, where hopefully I don't have to do any more resets, especially if I stay on top of my PGR applications. So this might end up being more like a series as opposed to just a late spring scalping video, because I'm honestly thinking about ordering some sand and getting a leveling project in now that I have the yard scalped down as well. So we'll see. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. So this is what we've collected just from the front yard and then the side yard. So not a single blade of grass has been taken from the backyard yet, and the backyard actually has more area than the front. So this was obviously a pretty big undertaking, and this is just the scalp part. I have not even gotten to pulling out the verticutter yet and doing any of that yet, and that's gonna pull out even more material. Lawn work, Bermuda grass, keeping a real mode Bermuda grass lawn, definitely not for the faint of heart. That's going to be my stopping point for today. I'll jump back on tomorrow and we will take on the backyard. I did not have the GoPro ready today, so this is on my phone, which is probably why the audio is going to sound a little weird. But this is actually a completely different pile than the one from earlier in the video. This is just from the backyard. So you can see that we have collected a mountain of grass from the lawn, and the scalping portion of the renovation is complete. And there is what the backyard looks like, just so y'all know what a scalp looks like during growing season. And it's actually so much worse during growing season, because you just pull up so much material, so much green grass, and then all the stuff underneath that has accumulated throughout the season, especially when you let it get away from you a little bit. And then you just get covered in grass and dirt and dust, and it just gets everywhere on your body, and it's just overall not a pleasurable experience. But it is nice when it's over, because you know that on the other side of the rainbow here is going to be a nice green yard. So this is a whole separate day now, but I think we're pretty much finished with the scalping. I redid the front and the side yard just now, just to clear everything out. And I'm actually about to go over everything with the verticutter, which you can kind of see the green machine over there on the top of the screen, but that will be on next week's video. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up right here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure that you hit subscribe so you can catch next week's video on verticutting, and then we're going to have a video on aerating, and then we're probably going to have a video on leveling. So lots of good content on deck. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those in the comment section below. I'll see y'all again soon. Lawn Insider out.